Close your eyes for just one moment. What if something that looks completely harmless is slowly, quietly reshaping the human brain, damaging relationships that took years to build, redefining what love even means? Pornography is not just a private habit. It is a global industry worth over $97 billion. But at what cost? Today, we explore this issue with logic, science, and wisdom. No judgment, no preaching, just truth. Let's begin with facts. In the United States and across Europe, studies show that pornography consumption begins at shockingly young ages. The average first exposure, 11 years old. Psychologists and neuroscientists now agree. Repeated exposure to pornography rewires the brain's reward system, not metaphorically, literally. Similar to alcohol, similar to cocaine, same pathways, same dependency patterns. It directly affects your ability to focus, your capacity for emotional bonding, your satisfaction in real relationships, and your mental health. These are not religious claims. This is science. Secular researchers now confirm excessive consumption leads to isolation, unrealistic expectations, relationship breakdown, and the objectification of other human beings. Now, let's think logically. If intimacy becomes digital, if relationships become performance, if desire becomes addiction, what happens to loyalty? What happens to marriage? What happens to emotional depth? Look at modern society. Societies that normalize everything without any moral framework are now facing rising loneliness, broken families, declining birth rates, mental health crises. The question is not about freedom. The question is, does unlimited freedom guarantee happiness? History is answering that question, and the answer is becoming clear. Now, let's turn to something remarkable. 1,400 years ago, long before brain scans, long before psychology, long before neuroscience existed, Islam addressed this issue. At its very root, in the Holy Quran, Allah says, "Tell the believing men to lower their gaze and guard their modesty." Notice something important. Islam does not begin with punishment. Islam begins with prevention. Islam protects the eyes from corruption, the heart from emptiness, the family from destruction, and the dignity of every human being. Unlike modern culture that turns the human body into a product, Islam honors it. Modesty in Islam is not oppression. Modesty in Islam is protection. But Islam doesn't just say no. Islam offers something far more beautiful. A life built on marriage. Real, meaningful, sacred, emotional responsibility, not just physical desire. Spiritual discipline that builds inner strength and self-control, that creates real freedom. The Prophet Muhammad taught us, the strong man is not the one who overcomes people by his strength, but the strong man is the one who controls himself while in anger. This teaching is not only spiritual. Modern psychology now confirms self-control builds confidence, discipline creates stability, and strong families build strong societies. 1,400 years ago, Islam prescribed a solution that science is only now discovering. To everyone watching, in America, in Europe, anywhere in the world, Islam is not against joy. Islam is not against love. Islam is not against happiness. Islam is against exploitation. Islam sees every human being as a dignified soul, not a product, not a commodity, not a number on a screen. So ask yourself, if pornography increases loneliness, if it damages mental health, if it weakens families, if science proves this, then questioning it is not extremism. It is wisdom. So let's end with the real question. Not, why does Islam restrict this? But, why did modern society normalize something that harms the human soul? Islam's guidance is not outdated. It was never outdated. It was simply ahead of its time. And maybe in a world drowning in excess, overwhelmed by stimulation, lost in artificial pleasure, discipline is the real freedom. Science warns. Logic confirms. Islam protects. The choice is yours.